Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in and checking out my latest video. Now, today's video is going to be talking about Oleksandr USYK versus Thabiso Mchunu of South Africa. Cruiserweight fight taking place. Highly underrated division, in my opinion. If you talk to me on Facebook or you watch any of my videos, you know I'm extremely high on the cruiserweight division. Lots of competitive fights, very entertaining fights, and fighters who, personally, in my opinion, need to get more coverage from the boxing media. So, nonetheless, very excited for this fight. Usyk will be making his American debut in Los Angeles versus a South African in this fight. And I'm going to talk about both of these guys as fighters and what they bring to the table, and ultimately my prediction for this fight. So let's start off with Thabiso Mchunu from South Africa. Hopefully, I pronounced his name right. I have a feeling Birdman's going to pop up here and tell me to put some respect on this guy's name because I probably fucked it up, to be honest with you. But, anyways, let's talk about Thabiso Mchunu and what he brings to the table. So the South African fighter in this matchup, he has good head movement. He's very defensively sound, athletic. He's southpaw. He's kind of got an awkward style. He's very tricky, in my opinion. He's a guy who will work off his jab at times. Offensively, I believe his straight left hand is his biggest power punch and his biggest weapon to watch out for if you're Oleksandr Usyk in this matchup. Smart boxer. He's fought some notable names in the past. His biggest victory in his career would be over Eddie Chambers, in my opinion. Looked impressive in that matchup. So this is a guy who, highly skilled fighter, to be honest with you. His record is deceiving. I believe he has 2 losses on his record, but very deceiving record. This is a guy who's quite talented, actually, and no slouch in the cruiserweight division. One of the more skilled guys, I would say, in the division, personally, in my opinion, boxing wise and technique wise, um, with everything he brings to the table. Now, when you look at Oleksandr Usyk and you look at what he brings to the table as a fighter, this guy is incredible, incredible fighter. This is a guy with extensive amateur pedigree. He's a guy who will work his jab to the head and body. He'll land good body shots. This is a guy who's extremely accurate puncher. He can counter punch you. He has incredible angles and footwork that he uses. He's a combination puncher. Very, very well balanced fighter, this guy is. He is so well rounded. That's what makes him incredible to watch. And some of the things he does for his size is just outstanding. He reminds me, honestly, of a bigger version of Vasily Lomachenko, which is extremely high praise because we see how good of a fighter he is. Usyk is a guy, in my opinion, who will be dominating the cruiserweight division for a long time. Can also beat, right now, some top level heavyweights. So if you haven't seen him fight, now's the time to watch this guy. He's coming off a huge win against Glowacki in Poland, taking his title. Incredible performance in that fight. Extremely composed as a fighter. I can't say enough great things about this guy. Special, once in a generation type fighter, in my opinion. Been very high on him for a long time. Um, People that I speak to on Facebook know that. Unfortunately, his last fight, I could not make a video on it because I was too busy with work. Was disappointed in that because I love watching his fights. But nonetheless, definitely a guy you need to check out. Now, my prediction for this fight, while Mchunu is a very talented fighter, I just believe that Usyk has way too many weapons in this fight. I believe Usyk has the advantage in footwork, angles he uses. He's the more unpredictable fighter of the two. And I also believe he's going to have some opportunities in counter punching and his combination punching because Mchunu at times isn't that active. So I believe if you are a stationary target for Usyk, he'll pick you apart, get out of range, and he won't get tagged. And especially if he does get tagged, Mchunu is not a vicious knockout puncher. So he's not a guy with that one punch knockout power that, should you catch Usyk with, you could finish him. So I believe ultimately, like I just said, Usyk, while he has limited pro experience, his amateur background makes up for that. And Glowacki is a better fighter than anybody on Mchunu's resume, in my opinion. So I got Usyk by a wide decision in this fight. I think Mchunu is too slick defensively to get stopped by Usyk. And I think he's a very good fighter. I don't want to discredit him at all throughout the video. I hope it didn't come off that way because I got a lot of respect for the skills he brings to the table. Very well-rounded fighter. And he gave actually a lot of guys problems in the cruiserweight division, including Murat Gassiev, who just defeated Denis Lebedev. I think he'd be a very tough fight stylistically for him. So ultimately, guys, let me know what you guys think on the fight and what you think on the cruiserweight division. Are you guys fan of this division? Let me know what you guys think on the two fights.